Hi, this is Chris. Happy Halloween. I'm posting this on Halloween because this is the last day of Inktober. And I learned about Inktober a few years ago, and I was really interested in it because I used to do a lot of ink work. And then I moved into watercolors and didn't do a lot of ink work after that. So I wanted to do the Inktober prompts. This is a journal that I bought about 4 years ago. It's a mixed media, Strathmore mixed media, 100% cotton vellum finish, 34 sheets, 5.5 by 8 inches, 14 by 20.3 centimeters, 90-pound paper or 190 GSM. And I'm just keeping this on here to keep this faux snakeskin cover clean. I guess that's what it is, I'm not sure. And so this is Inktober 2022, and here I have the Inktober rules. So the Inktober rules are: 1. Make a drawing in ink. You can do a pencil underdrawing if you want. 2. Post it with an asterisk. Post it on any social media account you want, or just post it on your refrigerator. The point is to share your art with someone. Number 3, hashtag it with Inktober and Inktober 2022. And number 4 is repeat. So I put the prompts here for every day of the month of October. There is a prompt, and you draw something relating to that prompt. And down here I wrote my goals for this challenge. 1. Finish. 2. Use only inks. Use only tools I already have. I have some things that I've purchased and never really used very much, and so I want to learn to use those and how they work in illustration. And 4. Think outside the box, or think outside the prompts. So I don't want to be too obvious with the ideas I come up with the prompts. But having said that, I did do a gargoyle because I thought that would be fun. So this is my gargoyle, and he is from a internet research. And this was the gargoyle I found. And after going online, I saw that some other artists also found this image. He's really an interesting gargoyle. So he's prompt number 1, and he's done with a generic ballpoint pen. I will show you what tools I used as I go through this. I also used Distress ink. So this is the Distress ink re-inker and a distressed ink pad. I use this as my palette. It's just a calendar sent to me from a charity. And that's day 1, prompt 1. Day 2, the prompt was scurry. So I did some internet research and found these simple beetle images. And I wrote scurry, 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 always in a hurry. And I used different pens and different techniques for each one. Prompt 3 was bat. Now most people would think, especially in October with Halloween, they would think of a Halloween bat, a bat hanging in a cave, or a vampire bat or something. But like I said, I'm trying to think of something different. And in October I enjoy watching baseball. I'm not a huge fan of baseball, but I enjoy watching the playoffs. And so I did, for bat, I did another internet image research. As an illustrator, finding image research is part of the process. Day 4 is scallop. The first thing that comes to mind is a sea scallop, the kind that you eat, which I don't eat because they just seem creepy to me. But that's beside the point. So I was thinking outside the prompt, and I had this piece of vintage eyelet. So I drew it, and because I'm not using white paint, I did the negative space all in this black ink. And so I used a Pilot G2 pen, one of these, and some of the Distress ink. Day 5 was flame. A lot of first impressions would be a match on fire or a candle flame. But I lived near the mountains at the base of the Sierra, and oftentimes during the summer there are problems with devastating fires in the forests, and so I had that on my mind, and so I did flame. I also added these little footprints at the bottom, these little rubber stamps at the bottom. So here's a little footprint, here's a beetle, here's an animal paw, so that could be for a team. And here I put in a bee. And those are Ink and Stamp Hero Arts, animal prints, and it has human prints, bird prints. So I thought those would be a cute addition. So prompt 6 was bouquet, and I wanted to do a bouquet. I wanted to do a sunflower bouquet, and I wanted to try these Sharpie fine point markers, which I purchased a while ago and haven't really used. And these are permanent and not water soluble. And for that, I did another internet search for an image. Prompt 7 was trip. So I have take a trip. This is my vintage trailer, and so I printed out a photograph of my trailer for my reference. Prompt number 8 was match. This was a difficult one, like a match with a flame. So I wanted to do something that wasn't obvious. So I was thinking about dominoes, and then I remembered that I had my mother's dominoes from when she was a child. So I pulled out that box of dominoes and used them for match. So they're matching here, they're matching here, and they're matching here. And then I put cat footprints on there. Prompt number 9 was nest, and a bird's nest would be obvious, so I thought of something else, and I thought, well, bed is like a nest, and human footprints. Then I realized that I wouldn't have enough pages because I'd already taken up 2 pages with the title page and the prompts. I'd taken up a page with my testing to show my inks and to show if they were water soluble. And before I did that, I did this testing page. I also took a page out because there is some bleed through with some, especially the Sharpie. So I wanted to protect the page as I worked on it. And then there was another page that was soiled, and I took that out, and then I realized I had less than 34 pages. In fact, I had less than 31 pages. Back to where we were. So I decided I needed to double up some of the prompts. So prompt 10 was crabby, and prompt 11 was eagle, so I did a crabby eagle. And I used some Sharpie highlighter for the bright yellows of the beak, and Tombow brush pens, and some distress ink, and a micron 505 and a micron 01. So the next prompt, number 12, I wasn't really in the mood to do anything that day. I was working on some other stuff I had to get done, and I kept putting it off and putting it off. And so then it came to mind, well, what if I just put, hey, did I forget to do something? Because the prompt for 12 was forget. Well, I lost a clip at about this point, so I will do these again. Prompt 13 was kind, and so my first thought was be kind. And so I put in a bee, and I put in a honeycomb, and then I filled in the word kind in the honeycomb. Prompt 14 is empty, another difficult one to think of. So I just thought of an empty-headed person. It's not a man, it's not a woman. They're just empty, and even the words are empty. Prompt 15 and 16 is another joint page. And prompt 15 was armadillo, and prompt 16 was fowl, so I made an armadillo fowl. So he's part turkey and part armadillo. Prompt 17 was salty. I always think of the sea, so I made a moonset on the ocean. And this bright turquoise is from a Sharpie highlighter, like this. And that's how I get some of my really bright colors, is some of these highlighters. I have an orange one too. Prompt 18 was scrape, and this time I went on the internet to see get some ideas about the word scrape besides the obvious. And I found this picture, and it's obvious, but I have done scraping like this before, so I did scrape. Prompt 19 was ponytail, P-O-N-Y-T-A-I-L, and I didn't really want to do something as obvious as a ponytail, so I did a ponytail, T-A-L-E. And I have this book, John Steinbeck, The Red Pony, and so I use that to illustrate ponytail. Prompt 20 was bluff. Again, I looked on the internet to see different examples of bluff, and I came across this image of Pinocchio, so Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket, and Pinocchio is bluffing his way through another lie. The next two prompts I joined together. 21 was bad dog and 22 was heist. So here's a dog getting ready to steal somebody's money. The next prompt I joined also. Prompt 23 was booger, and prompt 24 was fairy. So what could you do with that but make a booger fairy? So I don't know if he's collecting them or if he's dropping them off. I don't really want to know. So prompt 25 is tempting, and I did an internet search for chocolates, and I thought that would be fun to draw with their little papers, and the shiny chocolate might be challenging, and a human hand, because I'd like to grab those chocolates. So I wanted to show how I use this little palette. If I'm, for instance with these, I put just a little drop of distress ink on there, and then with a water brush I could do washes. I do a light wash, a dark wash, do different washes. With the Tombow brushes, I just put the ink on like this, and again I could wash it. I could spritz a little bit of water on here if I needed to dilute something. And let's see, what else? Oh, even with these gel pens, I could get a little bit on there like that, and then I would have another wash. So that's how I use the, that's how I did most of my washes. And that's easily cleaned up with a paper towel. And this is, this would be good to put in the back of a sketchbook. Make a little pocket from an envelope, and take a few pens, and when you go out and about you can do some sketching. You have your water brush and your pens, and you can test which pens are water soluble and see how they work. and do a little sketching out and about. Prompt 26 was ego, and how do you draw an ego? I'm not really sure. So again, went to the internet and I found quite a few illustrations. They were for corporate conferences and things like that, and they would have the simple little character, usually with a bunch of other characters, but standing out on his own. And I thought that was a cute character, so I did my own version of that character, and I wrote, "There go ego," because he's walking away. I have to have a psychiatrist explain that to me. Prompts 27 and 28 I combined. Prompt 27 was snack, and prompt 28 was camping. And so my favorite snack when camping is a s'more. And I did go to the internet to get an image of a s'more, and then from memory I did the tent that we used to camp in when I was a kid. Prompt 29 is uh-oh, and it's a glass that's fallen over, been knocked over and broken, and everything is spilled out of it. I don't know if I will color this in. It's not the 29th yet. I did the last two ahead of time so that I could have time to record this and then post it on Halloween on the 31st. So I may do some washes on this, or I may just leave it. 30 and 31 was fun. I combined the two prompts. 30 was gear and 31 is farm. So I did a farm where they're growing gears and a few pumpkins because it is Halloween. And I may color this one in, or I may not. That is my first Inktober, and I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did Inktober, I hope you post a video or a flip through or something. I have been posting these daily on Instagram and checking out what other people are doing, and there's so many different ideas that people come up with. So thanks for watching, and have a great day drawing. Bye-bye!